What will you create will make the world awesome? Nothing if you keep sitting there. That's why I'm talking to you today. This is your time. This is my time. It's our time. We can make every day better for each other. If we're all on the same team, let's start acting like it. We got work to do. We can cry about it, or we can dance about it. We were made to be awesome.
Is that recording? Yeah. Hey guys. Yeah, it's recording.
What up, what up?
Welcome to episode 4. I'm here joined with my boy Brian. Me and Brian work together at Finwest. He's a financial planner. So I'm basically his bitch at work.
Nah.
But yeah, so
we're all Andrew's bitch.
we're all Andrew's bitch. Yeah. Well, suckers in the system. So in this episode, I guess we'll just talk a bit about financial planning and stuff. A bit about Brian's background and what got him into financial planning.
Yeah.
And then we'll just go from there, start talking about life and stuff. But pretty much, I'll give you a quick rundown. And for anyone new that's watching, I started the Instagram page of Financial Journey. It was like a month before I started working at Finwest. I think it was like June last year. And I was kind of motivated through like personal experience and stuff, and just like, I went out on my own. Well, I was doing my degree in finance and stuff, but I wasn't really learning much about personal finance. And then I just went out on my own and started reading books and stuff, and I just learned so much, and I was like, fuck, like, so many other people could be learning all of this stuff as well.
Sure,
like, it'd be sick if you had a page or whatever.
That's awesome, man.
And,
it's awesome.
It's like 1.5 years in now. It's been good. Like, if anything, that page has kept me accountable as well. It's kind of like inspired me to just like continue to continuously finding new ways to grow and like develop as a person, whatever. And because you kind of don't want to like you're not going to post something and just like do something completely opposite.
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like,
accountable. Can't let you guys down, right?
Yeah. So then like if I post something, I was like, fuck, I better make sure I'm trying to follow what I'm preaching, whatever. But so then I'm starting this podcast now to, I guess, one, like for my people that have like businesses or ventures or hobbies and stuff that they're talented or skilled at, this will give them a platform to share with other people. So for example, last week we had my mate Abby. She is a personal trainer, so she was talking about a bit about her business and stuff. And then she actually had a few people hit her up.
Oh, awesome.
So great outcome there.
Just for like, just for business,
just live chats. So
it was
dope.
It's awesome, man.
So that's what I'm trying to get out of it as well. And then I guess like facilitate and initiate conversations and like positive mindset changes and stuff.
That's it, man. That's it.
But it's been well so far.
There's so much like shit entertainment and shit media out there. It's good. It's good to have positive vibes. And people that are trying to be authentic versions of themselves and trying to give back to the community. Just sort of what you're doing. So it's fucking awesome.
So we'll talk a bit about you. We'll talk about the younger years first.
The younger years?
Yeah, alright. Like start from like 18 and stuff.
18?
Yeah. So like, 18. What were you doing around then? What was your like mindset towards money and life, I guess? And then how you kind of transitioned into financial planning and the importance.
Right.
How you found your passion for financial planning.
Oh, sick. Yeah, so 18, so pretty much I dropped out. So I finished school, right? Then went and studied at university. Studied UWA. And back then I wasn't really sure of what I wanted to do. You know, I knew I wanted to start my own business and stuff. So I did a quantitative finance when I first started out. But then like a year in, I felt like I need to learn some life skills, right? And starting my own business, I thought that sales was probably the most important thing.
Did you have a business idea, or you kind of wanted to learn the skills?
Like, so it's like I've transitioned. I've learned a lot since then, because like back then it was like, oh, what's a business that'll be like really good, like what sort of the consumers want, right? And I was like too externally focused, and I think that like what's super important is finding something that's your truth and making a business from that, because that's when you have that unique proposition, right?
Definitely.
But back then that was sort of, I was trying to find out what's the next hot thing, I guess. So I went to startups. I worked at startups, creating a mobile app. I tried to do investment banking, but so as I progressed, I realized that it's important to stick to what's true to you. So I did a year in of UW, and then I dropped out of uni and tried to learn some sales skills. So I started doing.
Was that an easy choice to make, dropping out of uni?
Oh, it was hard. It's definitely hard, because I mean I'm Asian. I don't know if you have heaps of Asian.
There's a few Asian followers.
So
but there's a few ethnic followers, so we're all kind of on the same page.
We're on the same page.
We're all on the same page.
Our parents would beat us up. Right? There's no child rights or whatever. So they definitely weren't impressed. But I knew I had to do it for my growth. So I dropped out of uni, which was a huge thing, because both my parents my mom, my dad is a chemical engineer, graduated. My mom both of them has MBAs. So I dropped out and pretty much thrown myself to deep end in sales. So I did door-to-door sales. So and I tried to learn my skills and build up my skills from that.
And that's the hardest shit.
I pretty much was trying to find the hardest shit to do.
When it's cold calling, it's hard, they can just hang up and it's cool. But when it's face to face, it's a whole new game, man.
For sure. I mean, you're knocking on each door, and then I sold like Telstra. That was the first sort of job. Oh, I mean, you had like restaurant jobs and stuff. We don't count that, but 18 onwards, right? And people like hated Telstra and stuff, and basically tell you to fuck off. And it's all commission based as well, so you had to make it work. But I wanted to learn the sales skills, trying to build a thick skin and get used to rejections, because I mean ultimately that's kind of what life's about, right? I mean, it's the obstacles, right?
Just how you overcome them, I guess.
So I did that. And I smashed that when I did door-to-door. Did really, really well. It's actually one of my favorite jobs.
Really?
And
door-to-door?
Door-to-door, man, I made like $800 in a day.
For real?
And I only worked for like 2 hours. You get to a point where, I mean, it's essentially if you close a sale, you get commission. So I did really, really well there, and then they offered me a team manager position, which is fucking awesome, because you just drive 8 to 10 people, and then you just help them close sales, and you just chill there, and you get paid 80 grand a year with
so salary for that.
Salary, But then I knew that wasn't. Like, I learned enough out of it. There was nothing left for me there.
Ceiling,
So that's why I moved. I started to try to transition into like finance and stuff. So I created leads for accounting referrals after that. Which is still door to door and cold call. And then from that, one of my team managers wanted move to sort of business to business sales, and I like that. I was like, oh, okay, you know what? I can learn something from that, right? Try to take it to the next step,
make it a little more professional
and stuff. So. Make it a little more professional, right? So then I did pretty much business to business canvassing. So walked into businesses like this and try to sell them like Optus products and stuff.
For real?
Yeah, for real. So any of this huge
we get people like that coming into fitness as well. Same shit.
So, and no one likes them, right?
Reception has to deal with them.
But definitely helped a lot. And then from that's why in financial planning now, the sales component it's not a problem for me. And then after that business to business sales, I went into insurance. insurance sales, right? So,
so you've done like every kind of sales.
I've pretty much done, and then I went to the insurance sales. So that was like it was a shit version of income protection.
Yeah,
which is accident only and sickness only product. It was a terrible product. But we had to find our own leads. So it was, I had to call, like we used to go to like IGA and stuff, get some newspapers, and I have like a list of businesses, and I used to call them and pretty much try to sell them insurance product.
Sell insurance products to their employees?
To the businesses. So if you go to IGA and you pull up the IGA, at the back, you know, you've got like plumbers and electricians and that's how I used to get the number, and that's how I used to get the referrals. So it was all self-sourced. And then so that was insurance. And then the guy that I used to work with, he started his own financial planning firm, right? But when you start out, you really need an advisor that is self-sustainable, right? And so that's how we went from there. So then that's how I got to AMP as a financial advisor. So I did the study, I did the course, the RG146, then I went to financial planning. Back then it was still very risk focused, insurance focused. It wasn't much super and stuff. But I still had to self-source the clients, right? And then once I reached that, and I was like, okay, this is another ceiling for me, because the clients that we were getting, I was self-sourced, and it wasn't really what I wanted to do. It wasn't strategy, you know. It's just like insurance. It wasn't super.
Just like in and out the door kind of thing.
That's it. It wasn't super. It wasn't investments. It wasn't budgeting. Right.
And there's no real teaching aspect in insurance.
Exactly. And we used to drive to people's homes. So I used to take like an hour. Like, you know, we used to drive to Whoop Whoop, man. I've been around. And then that's when I decided to go back to university. And this was my first time where I went to university out of my own accord, out of my own will, right?
And it's so much better when that's the case, man. I was saying to you last week how so when I was doing my economics and finance degree, I kind of had interest into it, but it was just like doing it for the sake of finishing my degree. But then now that I'm doing my financial planning degree, it's a whole different ballgame. I actually enjoy like doing my studying and shit. Like I'm happy like learning all this shit.
You actually want to go to class.
Yeah, man. It's like, it's a whole different ballgame.
That's why I think it's so important, you know, to stick to something that's true to you. But so then I went, and that's when I went back to university. I was like super ambitious. I wanted to pursue investment banking. Alright, so it's kind of funny if you look at my academic.
Explain what investment banking is.
Investment banking is basically corporate finance, right? You're trying to. It depends on where you work, but mergers and acquisitions is one of the areas that they work in. So when another corporation tries to buy another company, right? So say NDHB buys South 32, then you basically deal with the transaction and the advice of that. So you've got investment banking working on both ends, trying to work out the best deal for the shareholders. It's huge money. So that's why I wanted to pursue, right? Pretty much like the highest end of the paragon of finance, if you will, corporate finance is that space, right? Or you can work for the RBA or something, the government. So that's I went to finance and I pursued that. So that's why I don't know if you've seen my academic transcript. The first one I was like failing and shit, dropped out of uni. You know, one of my lowest grades is probably like a 21 because I didn't rock up to the final exam.
This is from your first degree.
The first degree. The one that I dropped out. Then I went back in and I was like, oh no, I can't get an IB with this shitty grade, so that I repeated my whole course. And then when I repeated my whole course, I smashed that, right? So my GPA is perfect. 7 out of 7 for finance GPA, averaging like 84-85%.
That's crazy.
Because that's what you needed for investment banking. But then what I learned from that is that it's not me, man. It's not me. Like, you know, the reason being is that in investment banking, it's a huge sacrifice. And I was doing it really more so to out of society, right? You know, out of my parents and stuff. This ingrained idea in my mind, you know, that I had to this perceived idea of success.
Yeah.
Right? And like who
follow the money and all that.
Yeah,
kind of
follow
stuff.
the money, right? And who gives it, like, if everyone else thinks you're a success, but you don't, deep down you're not a success, why does it fucking matter? It doesn't.
100%. I love that.
Yeah, so that's when I realized, and I could never, and the fucked up thing is, like, even from a practical standpoint, you can never compete with someone that's true to them.
Yeah.
Because when I'm chucking a shit, man, I don't go pull up fucking investment banking, bro.
Yeah, bro.
And these fuckers that I'm competing with, they do, bro.
Yeah.
So I was just super, super stressed out.
Yeah.
You can see, like, I'm naturally an active person, like I love to do Muay Thai, and back then I was just sitting all the time. I started smoking a lot, you know, and that's when I knew that it wasn't right for me. Just with the work-life balance, there's no work-life balance.
It's
there.
cool that you realize that at a young age, man.
Yeah.
So what were you doing that helped you realize that? Like, were there books or or were there people around you, mentors or something that helped you kind of understand that?
Right. So, well, I mean, it was kind of easy to tell because you become very selfish, So when you're trying to pursue this thing, you become really selfish, very self-centered, and my life just I wasn't feeling great, I was just it was anxiety. I was sleeping, I was anxiety. I was working 14 hours a day. That's how I got my grades. I'm trying to compete with these guys, right? But and so I just, on that standpoint, it wasn't healthy. I realized that. But yeah, there's a few books that I've read. One of my favorite books is probably called The Artist of Life by Bruce Lee. So people have this idea that Bruce Lee is just this comical Jackie Chan fighter. But he's not, man. He is man, not a human being. He's a quality human being, in all regards. And pretty much a lot of it's similar to what I've just mentioned. It's really about focusing on who you are as a person. It's all about honestly expressing yourself. The way that he puts it is that, in life, right? If you have a bird's a bird, a tree's a tree, a river is river. If you can stick to your nature and you can stick to your core, right, and what the universe wants you to be, truly deep down, that's success.
100%.
It's not trying to look around and say, okay, that's the version of success. No, we're deep within. If you can honestly express yourself, truly honestly express yourself, right?
And when you get to that point, you just struggle for what other people think.
Yeah, that's it, man.
You just become like in a bubble kind of thing. And what other people, the way other people look at you, or what other people think of you, it's meaningless.
That's it, man. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't impact your core, right? And then they push you away, but then later they get drawn to you, similar to Gary Vee, right? You follow a lot of Gary Vee. Yeah. The message is very, very similar to that. So then I went to investment bank, so pursued that, and then I dropped out. Well, no, I didn't drop out. So I was like, okay, that's not what I do, because corporate finance is too much a sacrifice. I love basketball. I love Muay Thai.
So you never actually worked in investment banking. You were just doing a degree for it.
Yeah. So I had a couple of interviews with Deloitte, corporate finance, KPMG, corporate finance, strategy and operations. I was invited to Boston Consulting Group for sort of these. So I was really in that space. Trying to management consulting, things like that. But then I realized it's a huge sacrifice for me. Because they work 80-hour weeks, man, at least. And I won't be able to be fit. So that's kind of when I knew, okay, look, I don't want to get into that space anymore. I want to go to personal finance, because back in corporate finance, they don't really care, it's all about utility, right? There's no really relationships. It's all about how much can you bring to the business, bottom line profit, right?
And you don't see a business as a human being kind of thing. It's just like a business.
That's it. And they don't see you as a human being either, right?
They don't even know who you are kind of thing.
So if you bring results, great. The moment you stop, well, you're out. And then the business goes on, right?
Personal finance is more intimate.
Yeah, that's it. So that's why I was like, okay, look, I'm going to go back to financial planning. Got a job in Finwest. And it's fucking awesome. To me, the best part about it is the coaching element of it, and And I think what makes me different to sort of other financial advisors, similar to what we talked about, it's not really me trying to impose, oh yeah, this is the strategy, and trying to influence their life. It's more like, look, if you know what I know, and if you were to make decisions differently, your own decisions differently, that's what I want you to do. It's all about self-empowerment. And that's really the best bit.
100%. Like we say, like the best clients are the ones that come in and just say, yep, cool, all good, The ones are like the ones that you have to, who come in with a mindset, and then you have to kind of educate them and teach them to kind of alter that mindset and help them understand. And they come back with more questions and everything, and then it's like a whole different process.
Those are the best ones, because clients just trust you. And they
engage really well, and there's a lot of interaction.
That's it.
Like they just come in and sign here. It's like, did you really learn much, kind of thing.
So that's pretty much how I got into financial advising. That's to me definitely the best bit, the coaching element, and helping them, achieve their goals. Like, I mean, being a part of that, the money is not a big thing for me. It's just the real money, the real wealth. The relationships that's really the fulfillment. That's for me.
100%. So what about the importance of financial planning, like for clients and stuff? And I guess a lot of the followers, or a lot of the people watching, young demographic. So it's like the importance of starting early, but then also the fact that it's never too late to start, but it's always good to have some sort of plan in place. I definitely find that, like, a lot of finance fundamentals, like, is so applicable to life, because finance is more about numbers. It's the mindset. The whole idea of investing, right? It's a short-term delay for a long-term gain, right? And then the whole idea of compound interest, or you can say like critical mass, is like you invest in something, and after it gets to a point where it's not a straight line, it curves like straight up. And it's kind of like going to the gym, or like starting a new hobby,
or your podcast,
or the podcast.
That's it.
100%.
So I mean, that's really I think the value there essentially is about growth. So it's beyond just numbers. The numbers is just helps you get to that. But the whole idea of like investing and growing your wealth, and also risk mitigation as well, trying to keep things all efficient, holding yourself accountable, those kind of things. But definitely, like the nitty-gritty finance bit is definitely important. You don't want to fucking get wrecked with credit card bills or loan bills, because I mean, it just depends personally. It's just like, if you want to get to A to B, and that's how much wealth that you want for you to be happy, that's what it's all about. Right? You don't want any compromise to that, and that's what financial planning gives you a means to that. So someone comes in and they're super into cars, then they want to get a car loan. That's fine. But like, if they're like, they want to build an education, they want to send their kids to private school, that's like super important to them, and they want to build a better life, then maybe they shouldn't be getting that car.
Bit of sacrifice.
So it's like providing that level of clarity, and accountability for you to get from point A to point B. But then you can, like, we love the finance stuff, so we can talk about investments and indexes and all these, like, but on the big scope of things, it's really about life, about growth.
Talk a bit about outside of finance, outside of work. So I know you do a lot of yoga, a lot of Muay Thai. A lot of, what's the other one? UFC? BJJ?
I haven't gone there. I just haven't had I got a UFC in Riddlers, but I need to do more BJJ. I've been doing Muay Thai, basketball.
Basketball as well. And, so talk about that work-life balance. Because I know you're really passionate about this. And if anyone, like, I think it was, so we started off at Riddlers doing Muay Thai together. And then I was kind of in a position where last semester I was fucked with like 3 units. So like every day after work, just staying back studying, whatever. And then Brian will come in, it's like, you come in gym today? I was like, nah, not today, bro. Then the next day, it's like, nah, not today, bro. It's like, man, like, you gotta find that balance. Like, he made me feel shit for it, but yeah.
But you're getting to the gym now.
Yeah, I'm going gyms in the morning now, so I think I've found that balance now. But so talk to me about your work-life balance and the importance of it.
Right. I mean, it's just like, you know, I think it's a tough topic to talk about. I mean, yeah, because balance is I mean, yin and yang. You know, if you can balance, you know, order and chaos, you're a god. You're a
mastermind,
right? Like, I mean, you're essentially the universe, right? So in terms of like, for me, like, why I'm pursuing these things is, it's, you know, like talking to you about that book, you know, to me, success is if you can honestly express yourself and create your art that's unique to you. This is part of it, you know, your podcast, right? It's your self-expression. If you can honestly express yourself, that's success. Right? You can go beyond the limitations, right? So for me, you know, like, more like martial arts and movement, it means a lot to me. Right, so it's like a dance. It's my art. It's my self-expression. It's the way that I can go beyond the limits, right, and test myself and learn bits about myself, right? So I definitely don't advise people to, you know, if it's not you, you know, and you prefer something else, then don't do, you know, what I'm doing. Which is like, really you can see it's not really in balance at all. Like, you know, when I'm smashing, you know, like two workouts, 2 Muay Thai workouts, then go to gym, then go ball. I mean, that's not really, you know, that's not that, but I mean, it works for me because it's my art, right? So in terms of, like, on your topic of work-life balance and finding a healthy lifestyle, I would say, you know, find something that is you. You know, so if you know, going to the gym and working out in weights is not you, then don't do it just because everyone else does it, and, you know, like, and then you feel guilty from it. You know, find some other means. You know, whether it be going on a bike, you know,
or going to the beach,
going to the beach, or going for a swim. So definitely.
Talk a bit about your meditating. Because Abby did the last episode, and she was talking about her morning routine, how she does like meditation in the morning, reads a book, does some like deep breathing exercises like Wim Hof. So do you have a morning routine?
I used to. I try to meditate throughout the day.
How do you do it throughout the day?
So I think where people go wrong is that meditation, and again, this is all subjective, right? You know, I only can give you my end, and I'm sure I'm wrong in many ways as well, right? But from what I learned, you know, meditation, it's about being true to you. You know, it's about having that. It's a state of mind that it's you.
So, like, for you, when you're like say you're at Muay Thai and like the punches are connecting and like the kicks are connecting, that's like meditate. That's like
flow.
It's a flow. I know what you're saying.
So anyone it's beyond your mind. You know, because your mind learns things of the past. Your mind is dead. Your mind is old. There's no creativity in the mind. Right. When it's in terms of crystallized knowledge. Right. Meditating is like a blank state, right, in which, you know, your crystallized knowledge comes from. Right. So it's if someone is an athlete, if you guys are an athlete or an artist, you know what I'm saying. And most people are. They have this experience of flow where everything just seems to fit well, and it's like a symphony, right? And you just really, you feel free and you feel at peace, and you feel like you can just take on the world. So a lot of fighters would feel it as well. And if I play a lot of basketball as well. I don't know if I'll show you. If you're clutch, that's what it's all about. Like and even say if it comes to like, I don't know, you find a girl attractive or whatever, you know, you have your mind that will say, oh, don't do it, or what if this, what if rejection, blah 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 blah, right? Like if you're in a state of mind where you know what you want is true to you, that's meditation as well. You know, so it's about dealing with, going past your limitations, being able to deal with fear, anxiety, you know, the things that sort of hold you back to your honest expression. That's what meditation is about to me. It's a state of mind. You know, so if a client comes in, you know, and if I'm being nervous, you know, then I'm not being present. I'm not being honestly myself. Yeah. You're distracted. I'm distracted. Right? And yeah, definitely helps me get to finding a thread. So I used to do a lot of it. So like in the morning, you know, spend like an hour, you know, to 2 hours. But now I try to do it throughout the whole day. So in fighting as well, like if you need to meditate pretty much the whole time, because the moment you start thinking about the future and the past, right?
That's when everything goes to shit.
Yeah, that's when you get knocked out. You choke. You're tight. You're tense.
You just need to be present in the moment.
And
it's a good feeling, like after your session fighting, whatever, and then you kind of like think back to your fighting, you're like, fuck, like my mind was like genuinely clear. Like I wasn't distracted, I wasn't stressed about work, I wasn't stressed about uni or whatever. I was just like in this state of peace and like mindfulness and stuff.
I mean that's how Wim Hof does it, right? It's like how does he do this crazy shit, you know, like going underneath fucking like ice lakes and stuff, like right? Sub-zero for extended periods of time, right? It's because he had that mindset that's true to him. You know, like he was almost one with the universe, right? And it's sort of he's no longer scared of death. Like you're not really, you can't really grow if you're all about self-preserving. So I mean, this kind of stuff fascinates me a lot, you know, trying to improve my mind and be able to, you know, honestly express myself without limitations. Definitely super important, you know. And things like fear, like no one really talks about it, but that's such a huge thing of holding you back. I'm sure when you start your podcast, or fear of procrastination or whatever, you face that, right?
100%. Procrastination, like the first one is done in March, and then like fuck, I could have found someone the next week and done it, but you know, and I want to say that I had a busy lifestyle and everything, but I feel like a factor of fear and you know, procrastination played a factor in that. They played so fear and procrastination played a factor.
When we get that, like I get that, we get that, and it's just part of being real. But you know, like having this sort of like, you get this moment when you fear, you're not honestly expressing yourself. Because you're holding back your potential, and we need it. You know, like the whole world needs it. You know, like the tree needs to can't hold back because we need the oxygen. Right. So, and that's also the same thing with meditation, is for you to make sure that you stay on that path, that you path. You know, and not listen to all these other voices. You know. What if other people are gonna think, you know, what if it's not gonna be perfect, right? You know? So I'm all super supportive, you know, of people. That's why, like, I'm oh, come on, man, I'm like, when you start your own business as well, like yesterday I'm like, fuck, that's super awesome. We're doing a podcast, fuck, that's super awesome. It's sick. It's sick. Like, and the same with your brother as well.
So Brian's been helping out. I think we did 2 sessions of basketball with my little brother. My brother has a passion for basketball, so it was good to introduce him to Brian.
Yeah, man, he's gotta protect that.
I gotta support him behind it. Like, I'm gonna put a lot of time and effort behind it.
Yeah, man, it's just like if he has that, no, he's lucky, you know, if he already realizes that, and then you just gotta protect that. You know? And there's gonna be so much shit. It's like, oh no, you can't do it. You know, you're not tall enough. Whatever BS. You know, or like you need to find something like a more like, what are you gonna do? Just play basketball all day? Like,
that's something the parents will say.
Your parents, right? Like you're gonna.
Like, what do you want to do when you're older? Like play basketball. What? Play basketball?
But it's like, if someone's, you know, it's like. it's like you're telling a fish to be a fucking bird. Like it's just, they're gonna be a shit bird. They're gonna be a failure. So yeah, definitely wanna protect that and work on that.
Do you have any tips in regards to someone that's, I guess, fearful of? There's no growth in the comfort zone, yeah?
No growth in the comfort zone.
But then to leave the comfort zone, there's a lot of fear involved.
Yeah.
So do you have any like steps that you might do personally, or steps that you know that people can take to kind of overcome that fear to, I guess, do something they're not used to doing? Yeah. So then if you leave your comfort zone, you become more creative, you grow more. Yeah. You learn so much more. Yeah. And like, do you have any?
I mean, this is definitely like, I'm not. And I can say what it helps for me.
It's all subject to
this topic definitely fascinates me, because really what holds back people's potential is fear, and staying in the comfort zone. And we need that potential, with all these wars and all this pollution and stuff, and like parents not taking on the responsibility, really what it comes down to is fear. It's easy to procrastinate when you're scared. As to how to go beyond that, I think it's really important to know who you are, and if you and to inquire, to honestly express yourself. It's like, if you think, and that's kind of how you know as well. It's like, look, making this podcast is important to you. A lot of people have the same dreams as you, but they're not willing to inquire, not willing to discover that at all. They're like, I can't do it. I think that's the first step, is to know who you are. It's really, really important, right? And I think people naturally have these longing, to know who they are. This pull, right, to fulfill their potential. And I think when you're aware of that, that's a first starting step, right? Then like it's like you want to go there, right? It's like that's my journey, and that's the start, first step. Then you face the fear, right?
So fear would come in different forms as well, because like one might be, okay, I want to do this, but then I'm scared about or like one might be, I want to do this, but the circle of friends I have aren't interested in that. If I did do that, they'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing that kind of thing? But then
it's tough.
What, like, at the end of the day, what's gonna make you feel better? Like, you doing that thing that you said that your friends don't do, but you're doing it because it's you. Or you pretending to be someone else in front of your friends. You know what I mean? Like,
and they don't even really love you for you, because you're pretending.
Exactly. So 100%. What the fuck?
It's fucked, right? And it's fucked up. It's fucked up because it's like everyone goes through this. It's crazy, like they pretend to be something else because they're scared of what other people think about them, and then they don't actually love them anyway. Do you get what I mean? It just means that at the beginning it started off that they don't love you for who you are, and then now you're trying to get them to love you by changing you. It just doesn't fucking make sense. But I think what helps for me with fear is acceptance of death. And I think this is sort of a little bit like with Asian philosophy or Asian religion. They talk a lot about that. Like, no one really talks about death, right? But death is important. Each moment right now, we're dying. We're dying.
You feel it?
And your parents are dying. Right? And the part of their death allows you to be you, right? There's no life without death. Right? It's sort of the yin and yang. So if you're scared of death, you're not gonna fucking live. You're not gonna know. You're not gonna be able to experience life at all. Right? Because again, you're not honestly expressing yourself, because part of death is honest. The whole universe fucking dies, right? But you're there trying to self-preserve yourself, right? So I find like that really, really helps. And again, it's a lot of self-work, right? Because like really the ultimate fear is death at the end of the day. What are other people gonna think of me? Death of my image, right? What, like, is it gonna fail? Death of my identity of me being a success. Right? I think that would be huge. It's tough, right? I mean, like, so I find that like that helps, of accepting that, and it's part of the warrior element, right, which everyone has, especially guys. If we all know, all guys, you take a whole group of guys and you see a guy down there willing to face death and pursue his goals, all of us gonna be like deep down and we're like, oh man, That's fucking badass.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And so that's honestly express.
Yeah.
Right? And you can, and that's all you have to do. I mean, you just have to be yourself, you know, and just who you are. And it's like the universe is on your side.
Yeah.
You know, if you're trying to be someone else, the universe is not on your side.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why, like, I've actually like found this with myself, and I've found this happen to a few of my friends. Like, when they start to begin to express them true selves, all these opportunities start to like appear.
Yeah.
Like ones that have just been sitting there, but never kind of like came to light, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, once you start expressing your true self, all of these opportunities start to appear.
Yeah.
People, I've found that, me personally, like for example, when I was just like sharing my shit for Instagram, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I've had these followers for however long, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From my personal account.
Yeah.
But then once like the post started changing, like I started learning more shit about all the different followers. Like I had no fucking idea.
Yeah.
Then I was like, you've been sitting there my whole life, and I'm just like, you know, you've only came to light now. But why is that? It's because I started expressing my true self. Attracted those people towards you. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. It'll definitely like push some people away because they're scared.
Definitely.
You know, and the thing is that it's not really, you don't take it personally because they're pushing themselves away.
Yeah.
You know, like you need pity for those type of people, you know, who trample on other people's dreams because they've trampled on their dreams.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, for sure. Like when you're doing this one, I'm so supportive because I'm like, I know how hard it is, and I know how sacred it is. You know, that's why I'm like, when you're starting on this new thing, I see how much you have to fight against, you know, and I'm like, fuck yes, it's fucking awesome. When's the next episode? When, you know, when are your business coming? You know, have you got a fucking cards yet? Who's your fucking client? Is your brother fucking, you know, is he training yet? Like, you know, because I mean, like it's I mean, I think human nature, and a part of honestly expressing yourself is really being true to your nature. You know, like we're all just, you know, we all deep down have love for each other. We do. You know, fucking wars is just unsustainable. You know, the way to grow forward is to work together. So yeah, and definitely huge inspiration as well. You know, so you know, when you do this stuff as well, and I'm sure a lot of followers are as well. And yeah, any inspiration I can get, you know, and surround myself with people that are like at that space, like, you know, I'm like, fuck yeah, how can I help? You know? And especially your little brother, man, because like, I mean, Ball, he's a guy, you know, he's 13, he's already the best out of everyone. You know, like
out of his friends.
Man, it's just like, to be able to have that level of freedom and proficiency and mastery as a bird, you know, or, you know, a butterfly, you know, or just like the river, or like the sky, or the sun, or the moon, right? Like, that's fucking goals. You know? And you see it, and we watch, and this is the reason why people fucking watch athletes and stuff, right? Like, you know, and people watch movies that like, or people watch The Rock and stuff like that, right? Because like we naturally draw towards that. It makes us feel alive. It makes us feel like was when our spirit is like at its strongest, right? So super excited, man, for your growth and your brother's growth as well.
I got dreams. What is I think J. Cole says, like, no, Drake says, it's like, don't sleep on me, I got big plans, I got big dreams. That's my motto, man.
Is it?
But no, man, is there anything else you want to add? I fucking love this.
No, I love this, man. I love talking.
These are like, we have these conversations like once a week at least. Like almost every day in the office or something. Yeah, man, this is the shit I live for. I could talk about this stuff all day. All day. And I find it more rewarding.
Find it what?
More rewarding. And productive.
Yeah, for sure. Alright.
Is there anything else you want to add?
I think we're pretty much.
I think we covered a lot, to be honest.
We'll see. And then, you know, if we can always do another one.
Yeah, there's always part 2.
Like so
definitely.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
It would be. I wish they had like questions and stuff, you know, like and then
like a Q&A.
Yeah,
that'd be
and
sick.
then like then we can talk about questions because like we're like going all these other space and like I'm sure your students like no don't go there. We want to talk on that.
Yeah, true.
But then again, we want to talk on that too, you know.
Yeah, they can just message, and then like you know anyone can message me. I can forward them on to Brian.
Yeah, easy. Easy, bro.
But yeah, definitely. If someone wants to link up with Brian, get their finances sorted, come through.
For sure, easy. Look after you.
Huh?
We all look after you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Sick.
I'm trying to think if there's
anything.
Yeah. Nah. I think we covered everything. I'm not sure who's going to be on next week, but Brian only asked me yesterday. It was yesterday, yeah?
Yesterday? Oh no, we asked.
No, we spoke about it. And then I wasn't planning on doing one this weekend, and then you were like,
let's do it, man.
Yeah, it's like, when are we doing that podcast? Like, you want to do it tomorrow? I was like, alright, fuck it.
Yeah.
Do it tomorrow. But I'm glad we did, man. It's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anyone has any questions, hit me up. I can put you through to Brian if anyone wants to talk to him directly. But yeah, like any feedback would be much appreciated. I'll pass it on to Brian as well.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoyed listening. Like, share, subscribe. But I don't really care, honestly. Like, I only care about the interaction when like people hit me up and be like, oh, like listen to the podcast. I really love this part here, this part there. But when you see like 180 views on YouTube, I'm like, fuck, like who are these 180 people? I don't know. Like I don't know if they liked it or not. I'd rather have like 10 people that just watched it.
And you relate to it.
And we can have conversations about it and stuff. So, but yeah, like, you know, any of your friends that don't follow, get them on. Anyone that actually wants to feature on the podcast, hit me up. I'm happy to do anyone and talk about anything. I think I mentioned earlier, well, I'm not sure if I did, but finance is, so I started this page to be just about finance and stuff. That was the main intention, but then I realized over time that there's more to finance than just like saving tips and budgeting tips, you know. It's like a mindset, there's personal development involved, and all that. And that's why we kind of transitioned to that as well. So like some of the posts are about quotes and stuff that I've gotten from books that I read. And most books, I get more fulfillment from books that are based on like personal development.
For sure, man. Me too.
I think books were a major part in initiating this whole new mindset. From a couple of years ago. So yeah, I'm always for books. But yeah,
you're standing on the shoulders of giants, man.
Yeah, that's it.
They've already done the blueprint.
It's just sitting there waiting for you. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ciao.
See ya.